Hey guys, it's me, Pre, aka that Pokemon Boy, and today I'm going to be bringing you both of the Week 5 replays. This is kind of a bit like how I used to do the videos for Season 1, simply because I want to get the Week 6 videos back on track so that I'm up to date rather than being behind, so I'm going to do the two replays in one. Yeah, so the first was against the new Muzzle, who are coached by Barry. And we'd already beaten him once this season, but it was a very close battle, so this was going to be close as well, you know, it wasn't going to exactly go one way. Now, on top of that, we just lost our previous game. It was our first loss of the season, so I was really thinking in my mind, I need to win this game and, you know, cement my stop at the top. My spot at the top. That's how you speak English. Anyway, so my team here, like, Barry's got a very bulky Trick Roomy team almost, but he never brings Trick Room, so I went quite faster to try and just hit hard and hit before him. So it was Mega Latias, no it wasn't, it was Life Orb Latias with Choice Scarf, Haunter, and then Hazard stacking Crustal because he struggles to remove hazards, Spinner, Tentacle, a wall breaking set with Mega Heracross, and then Choice Pantampe. Now, he leads Aggron as I lead Haunter, and I'm thinking he's probably going to get rocks here, so I trick him to try and put him into rock. Oh, sorry about that, guys, right. So I trick him, as you can see here, I trick him to put him into rocks, but he heavy slams, and it turns out he's Choice Banded. I got rid of the Choice Band, which kind of helps, which basically means he won't hit as hard. He is slightly quicker, that's not too big of an issue, but he heavy slam. Now, I forgot at the time, but Aggron gets heavy metal. And I completely forgot he gets heavy metal, so I was thinking, oh, he's sturdy. Now, I bring him Crystal, okay, because I'm thinking I can get hazards up. Heavy slams once, I get rocks up, and then he heavy slams again, gets the crit, so he kills me, so I couldn't get spikes up. Not too big of an issue. I go into Tentacle to try and get a Scold off, as he brings in Meowstick. I can click Scold. Light screens go up, I get T-Spikes up, as he Thunder Waves. Sorry. I get my second Toxic Spikes up as I get the Paralyzed. He goes for Reflect, I get Paralyzed again as he goes for Trick Room. He brings in the Uniclus, but I do manage to get the Scold off, it doesn't really do anything. Paralyzed again. Side Shock will kill me. I bring in Latias because I know that he's going to Shadow Ball me, but I also know I can recover most of it up. Now, effectively I'm only losing 13 each turn, but I go for the Shadow Ball here, knowing the Trick Room is going to end the next turn, and I give it the Shadow Ball and it kills. Now I make a bad play here, as you will now see. Meowstic comes in, now okay, he's got one of two options. Either he can get screens back up, he can Thunder Wave me. They're the two options he's got. What I should do here is I should recover, because otherwise I lose out, because Life Orb is going to take me down. I should recover. But as he goes for Light Screen, I go for Shadow Ball as he went for Light Screen. I forgot that he's got Prankster, so it would half it. What I should have done is I should have recovered, let him paralyze me next turn, and still gone for the attacks. Because if this thing's crippled, he has to think twice about getting Trick Room up, because if this Latias was paralyzed and he was in Trick Room, effectively this thing becomes a monster as long as I don't get paralyzed. So Latias goes down, Meowstic just about stays in, but the Reflect wears off, so I go into Downflame knowing he has to switch here. But I can't risk it, I have to go for the Brave Bird. I should have made the clever play and gone for the U-turn, but the way I saw it was, if he stayed in T-Wave me trying to sack it off, then that was it. So, I go into Heracross knowing a Heavy Slam's coming my way, not much I can do about it. He goes into Amoonguss, I Mega Evolve, I go for the Close Combat. It was my best play there, without a doubt. I mean, he could have gone into Pythagoras, but I couldn't risk it. Now, here he brings in Pythagoras, predicting the Pin Missile, and he actually gets that right because I did go for the Pin Missile, trying to hit the Amoonguss. And here the way I see it is, what he's going to do is he's going to bait the knockoff, go back into the Amoonguss, and kill me with the Rocky Helmet. And that's exactly how it happens. So he goes into Amoonguss, but I predict that I went for the Rock Blast, just in case for whatever reason he brought it out in straight up. And there's enough to the point where Close Combat kills. There I mispredicted, I predicted the Aggron to come back. For him to predict me to go for the Pin Missile, Aggron to come back and then hit me with a Heavy Slam and kill me. I got that one wrong, but at this point it was GG anyway, because he can bring in Aggron. My only hope is if I kill him with a Flare Blitz crit. I wouldn't have anyway, and he rock slides the game. GG Barry, that was a very good one. I had no answers to his team. It was as simple as that, you know. And I have to say that these matches, especially in a league like this, it's largely won or lost. I feel as if it's largely won or lost before the actual game. I think prepping, running your calcs, building your team, knowing your team works for against your opponents is a huge part of it. Credit to Barry. He thought, you know what, I'm going to surprise him, I'm going to bring the trick room, I'm going to bring the screens. I thought, oh, Barry's not going to bring the trick room and the screen, so I didn't run the break, I didn't run the defog or the slower mons. And, you know, that cost me hugely in the end. So, GG Barry, because that was a great battle on your part. Next battle we had was against the Pewter Pin Muscle coached by Connor. Now, I just lost 2 games in a row. First time I'd done so in the IEP. Usually I only lose 1 game and then I managed to win the next one or the one before that. But this time I'd lost 2 in a row. Wasn't going to make it 3. I couldn't afford to, because if I lose this 3rd game in a row, then suddenly I might not be at the top anymore. That scared me. So I knew I had to, you know, put in a big game against Connor. Now the idea here was basically I'm going to use Hippowdon Sand to pass to Stoutland and then try and just do as much damage behind a sub as possible. So it was sub 3 attacks Stoutland with a Life Orb, Sand Rush, Choice Band in time flame, a spinning spinning Tentacruel, Mega Latias, 3 attempts cover, and then I had Chloritza with a Assault Vest, I believe. It was either Assault Vest or Expert Belt. I can't remember it right now. But the idea of this thing was to just do as much damage possible to everything. I lead Chloritza as he leads Seismic Toad. Not a great matchup for me, so I go back into Latias. No, he's probably just going to stab rocks. Exactly what he does. I Mega Evolve, go for the Dragon Pulse crit. That does 82, not great, but considering he went for the Scald, he gets the burn, and that's not too big of an issue. I go for the Energy Ball. The reason I revealed the Energy Ball was because this way, Regirock thinks twice about switching in, because yeah, I can hit this Regirock super effectively with Energy Ball, but I prefer not to have to deal with the Regirock with my Latias because it can kind of take the Latias on. I prefer to have the Chloritza or the Tentacruel in on it. So that's why I went for the Energy Ball, almost to warn him, you know, don't bring your Regirock in. So yeah, I obviously get a burn, not too bad really. He brings in his Sceptile the Gunther as he goes for a Protect. And the reason I brought Tentacruel in because this Tentacruel, effectively, it was designed to stop this Sceptile. Leaf Storm would, I think, like 3 or 4 hit KO me at best. I can eat Dragon Pulses for days. I've got Liquid Ooze, so if he tries to Giga Drain me back, he's just going to constantly go back himself. It's neutral, that's the main thing. If he fires, I take. Focus Blasts, I take. Unless he's taking like HP Electric or HP Ground for some reason, just to hit this, it's not going to get far. So his obvious play here, I thought, would be into Miss Majors. He actually goes into Espeon as I went for the Toxic Spikes. Now, I went for Toxic Spikes, predicting Miss Majors coming in on my Rapid Spin. Great play by Connor there, because what he basically saw was, he saw, okay, he's going to want to spin, but if I go to Miss Majors is the obvious play, so it makes sense for me not to go for the spin, so he predicted the Toxic Spikes, got that 100% right. The only thing was, now I know he would probably try and set up either a Calm Mind or he'd Psy Shock straight up. He goes for the Calm Mind. I go for the Rapid Spin to get rid of the Rocks, get rid of the Spikes. Rocks can't come back up for him, because he probably doesn't have double Rocks with Regirock and Seismic Toad, and Seismic Toad is dead. So I knew I could live +1 from this Espeon. Full health Tentacruel can live a +1. I live. That was actually a high roll. I go for the Haze there. Now the reason I go for the Haze is because if I were to bring the Latias in and to a KO this thing with Shadow Ball, I can do so. If Haze was already up, it makes it a lot harder. I have to bring in the Talon Break in that case. He goes into Curum. I went into Chloritza anyway. I go back into Tentacruel to see what he's going for, and I decide to sack here, so I Dragon Claw, because I don't need Hazard Removal at this point. I go back into Chloritza here because I know Dragon Claw can't kill me. Now, my obvious play here is Aura Sphere, and kill this Curum, so I thought he'd predict that, the Aura Sphere, and go into Miss Major, so I predicted that, and I went with the Dark Pulse. As you can see, he actually stays in, goes for the Dragon Claw, and the Dark Pulse. That doesn't work out great. I was hoping he might think I'm choiced, so I continue that by bluffing the choice. I went into Hippowdon to make sure I don't have to sack that Cluitza because it could be useful against Reggie Rock and on the switches. Bringing in Miss Majors, not an issue for me because I went straight into Stoutland and knowing that the sand was up, I could afford to double because he wouldn't stay in. And I could live a Kurumi Dragon Claw if he did. He goes into Reggie Rock because I went for the sub, predicting switch, and I go for the superpower, see how much it does. It does 53, just over half, but the attack drop from the superpower means I won't be able to do it go. As he goes to the Stone Edge, breaks my sub. Right. So the Stone Edge broke my sub, which means if I go for a second sub here, he'd break that as well. I was tempted to go for the sub again, predicting a switch, but I actually go into Power on thinking I could take the Stone Edge. But he explodes and that does 42. That's huge because that basically means this Hippowdon might not be able to take on this Hero B as well. So that was an issue. But he brings in Sceptile and I basically let Hippowdon die at this point. Knowing I've got 2 tons of sand, I go into the Time Flame because I know basically at this point Sceptile, Espeon, Curum was at a range where I could kill it with the Brave Bird and Miss Major. So the 3 of these, the Sceptile, the Espeon, and the Miss Majors actually get one shot. So I know that I can one shot those, and I know because Curum dies, I basically get a free kill here. Now, I think he protected, and that was actually a good play. Not to scout for what I was going for, but I think he did it to run the Sandstorm turns out in case I ever wanted to go into Salmon. So that was a good play on his part. He may have been trying to scout for a U-turn as well, which is possible, predicting a switch, but I had no need to because I killed something here basically anyway. As you can see, Brave Bird comes in, wow. Now, and the only problem now is because Sandstorm fades, he's got a switch into the QMD. I go into Fluids and sack this, and the reason I did this was because I was starting to, because of Brave Bird, I'd be starting to run out of HP. Now, because I was starting to run out of HP, if for whatever reason I couldn't kill that Sceptile, it was GG because I had nothing to kill the Sceptile. So, so basically I had to sack Cluitza there. Now, I go into that ES as he goes into the Espeon. I go for Dragon Pulse, my best play, unless I predict and go for the Shadow Ball. Could have gone for a recover, but I decided not to. Now I go into Southland to basically sack this thing off, but he goes Wish, and I'm like, okay, this is dangerous now. If he successfully passes this Wish into Curum, and I don't do half, I lose. Because Talon Flame needs Curum at about 50-60% for it to kill with a Brave Bird. He goes for a Side Shot, but it doesn't kill me. And I go for the return. I kill this thing, and I was thinking that was a bit of an obscure play because he pretty much knew that it was the Curum that he had to Wish Pass into. I actually talked to him after the game. I talked to Connor after the game, and he said that the reason he didn't go straight up into Curum B was because he thought Wish Passing would still occur even if his Espeon fainted. But the wishing actually, the actual Wish comes true in between the Pokemon going down and the next one getting switched in. It happens between those 2 events, so he doesn't get the Wish Pass into Curum. His best hope here is basically to kill as many things as he can. He kills the Stoutland. I had no reason to keep it, but at this point I knew I killed unless he was HP invested. But I don't think he was, because if he was HP invested he wouldn't be scarfed, I don't think. So that worked out. He goes into Sceptile, goes for a Protect. I've got no idea why he did that, maybe just to PP stall a bit. Crit didn't matter, that would have killed anyway. GG Connor. So that was a close one. I mean, 2-0s is where I've been at this year, honestly. I've noticed a lot of my games have been 2-0s. Well, my wins have 2 losses and 4-0s. But my wins have been 2-0s, so it's good to get another win, good to get back on track. At the end of this, so week 5, we played 10 games, won 8, lost 2. We sat at plus 10 or 12, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. So it's going well, as you'll now see the week 6 battles in the next few days. You'll see the first one. Now, hey guys, you've reached the end of my video. To show my thanks for you watching the whole thing, here's a picture of Jesus riding Arceus.